Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Future Doctor Podcast by Gyanberry. I'm Tejas, the founder of Gyanberry. I'll be your co-host for the podcast. I'm joined by my colleague Shagufa, who is the senior counselor at Gyanberry. Welcome, Shagufa.
Thank you, Tejas.
Right. So today we are joined by another amazing and prestigious university. We are joined by Charles University Institute of Language and Preparatory Studies, who provide some amazing preparation programs for students who want to get into the university. So we are joined by Mr. Daniel and Mr. Anik. Welcome, both of you.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for invitation.
Awesome. Pleasure to have you, and looking forward to have this conversation with you, know more about the university, the faculty, and the programs. And definitely on behalf of the students, we as counselors have a lot of questions for you. Right. So, if you can briefly introduce yourself, what you do at the university, and a little bit about the university and the faculty as well, that would be really nice.
Okay, thank you so much. So, as you already mentioned, my name is Daniel, and I am the marketing and partnership specialist at Charles University Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies. So basically, I am at the marketing department. But as I mentioned, we are dealing with a lot of stuff connected, not just by marketing, but actively speaking to students, which Anek will be introducing himself later on. But my day-to-day work is mostly to keep on partnerships and inform as our partners, or the actual students or their families and interested students, for let's say giving them general information about what we do, what is our programs, what kind of foundation programs we have, what kind of language courses we provide. So it's more like my job is basically to keep this partnership alive and give it even the more partnership if possible, and try really to explain why we believe that the foundation for university is quite crucial. So that's my part.
Yeah, and my job is basically I'm kind of the head of the client center. So I contact mostly the students. They contact me to ask their questions about foundation programs, accommodation, application process, visa. Very important part of that is visa also. So I explain them that we are the part of Charles University, which is doing foundation programs since already like more than 50 years. Inside the university we do it, so we have a great experience in foundation programs, in helping students to get to be prepared for the study at the Czech Republic, and we help them with visa and everything, so I can consult them within the whole process from the beginning to the end when they will come here to study.
Awesome. I think we've got the perfect people for this podcast. We've got all the bases covered from the student side, from the admissions, marketing, and the visa. I think, of course, visa is a very hot topic and very important topic for international students. And, foundation programs, preparatory programs, parents and students don't fully understand, what these programs consist of and why they should opt for it. Typically, students, think of going from school to the university directly, but they don't understand what these bridge programs, actually offer. So I'm sure after the end of this podcast, they will learn a lot about the programs and about the faculty at the prestigious Charles University. For that, I will request my colleague Shagufa to take forward the question and answer session. She has a ton of questions for both of you. Over to you, Shagufa.
Thank you, Tejas, for such an amazing introduction. And as you rightly said, we have some amazing people, and I'm 100% confident that all the questions will be answered. So students are going to have amazing takeaway from this session. So once again, welcome to both of you. So I'll just quickly give you a brief overview that we have divided the questions into different segments so that it's easy for the students and parents to comprehend and take it forward. So maybe, we can generally start with having an overview of the university and the faculty, which is Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies at Charles University. So you can explain that, how it helps the students in preparing for the program at the Czech Republic? Along with that, what are the facilities and the services available for the students? So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for this question. So maybe I will start a little bit wider because it's actually very crucial to understand why it's important for international people to actually even consider foundation programs. As you mentioned that we are part of Charles University, but Charles University is really quite it's one of the oldest and one of the best universities in Europe, and of course it's a massive institution. So we represent here just the part of the preparation of students, international students, languagely and academically. So I think this is quite important to point it out because, of course, as a Charles University has 17 faculties, and it's possible for each of the students apply for each faculty because there is no like central, let's say, application form. It's application for each faculty has a specific application system. But it's quite intense and it's quite hard to really understand what each faculty, what are the majors at faculties, even though we have the website that, let's say, accumulate all these informations. But we as institute, we are basically like, or we should be like starting point of people that actually have like idea of studying abroad. And why it's so crucial? Because we are offering not just academic, as you know, sometimes there are some excellent students, they can apply directly because they have perfect language skills, English or Czech language. We will get into it in a moment, and they are academically very strong. So if I may do example, they want to study medicine, they are perfect in physics, chemistry, in Latin maybe, biology as well. So they can apply straight away. But you know, our experience is that not everyone can do it. Actually, it's not a huge number of students. They can really take this huge step from high school to straight away for university, and especially Charles University, which is quite demanding in all possible things. But what we do as foundation programs at UOP, which is the abbreviation of Institute for Language and Preparatory Study, is kind of like our shortcut. But what we do, we prepare students in our foundation courses, just as Anek mentioned, in all these subjects, like for example, again, in medicine it will be biology, chemistry, Latin, and all these things important, but not just for entrance exams, but most importantly, they will see how it works, how the university works in the Czech in Czechia, so they can be really prepared, not just by the actually what they should expect, but they see how are the lectures going, because we are taking them to the lectures. They can see the teachers, they can speak to them, and basically they will also get prepared, of course, for the entrance exam, which is important to get accepted if you want to study. But it's something still that sometimes some students can get ready, but we also show them how to orientate themselves within the Czech Republic, so they can actually see how it's working, and everything is so much easier if they already spent the year with us, so they can really start, I would say, with clean sheet, because they are really prepared not just for studies but for living in foreign country. They know who to contact if they have some issues, and if I should make it really simple, they will just focus on the studies since they start the university, so they know everything around it. And I believe that's something that's really important for the students consider if they really want to take, maybe I would even say, a risk to go straight to university, because there is so much new things going on. So but we believe that after our foundation programs, they will be ready not just for university but actually living here and make their studies so much more efficient and easier for them. I don't know if Anek, you want to add something here?
No, that was perfectly okay for me.
Yeah, so this is again, it's a longer like answer, but I think this is important, that it's important to get ready for university. That's the simple question.
No, absolutely. It was a very comforting answer, I would say, for the students who are not sure, to directly go to the university and experience that life. It's a very good opportunity, I would say. So yes, I'm sure all the students and the parents would find it a very good option to consider if they are planning to send their children abroad. Yeah. Moving forward to a similar question, which I think you have halfly covered, is basically how can you distinguish that the foundation program at the Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies is different from the other programs what are offered in that region? So, what makes you stand out as compared to the other faculties, who are providing these kind of courses at Czech Republic?
Yeah, I believe I can answer that
I
question.
guess so.
As I already mentioned, we have more than 50 years of experience in foundation in preparation the student to study in the Czech Republic, both in Czech language and in English language. So we are actually we produce the methodology, the teaching methodology in this field, let's say. We publish books for both for teachers, how to teach students, and just like normal study, how you call it, učebnice.
Yeah, like the lectures book, even for the students, basically.
So yeah, our students they study at the best methodology. We create innovations every year, how to teach them better, how to get them to the point where they need to get to later on to be admitted to the university. So all the time, our students, they got the best of the best, what they can get in this sphere. We are the part of Charles universities. As we already said, it's the oldest and the best university, one of the oldest and the best universities in Europe. So it means that we really provide the students with a quality service from every point of view. Not only the academic and the language skills, but also, as we already mentioned, this adaptation course and accommodation and everything will be at the best level.
Great, that's amazing. And as you said, it's part of Charles University, so that in itself makes it so popular among the students, isn't it? Along with the so many additional factors which you just highlighted. So I'm sure the students and parents who are going to listen will definitely have some great takeaways in this. Now, moving forward, we have few questions which are basically related to the academic and the program overview. As in, like, what is the course and what are the subjects and skills which are taught in the foundation programs? And, how they make the students so well prepared to, sit for the entrance exam, be it MMI training or interview skills. So if you can just provide, few information on that, what all it covers for the course in the foundation program.
Yeah, I think I will divide this question for two answers. Maybe the first is on me, so I will show you what actually is possible for students they want to apply for us as institute, and then in the future for the Charles University. So basically, what we can prepare students, they have two options to consider before applying to us. If they want to study in the English, maybe for example they study some English curriculums, so naturally they would like to continue in this English pathway, or they would like to, let's say, take a little more advantages maybe and study in the Czech language, which is like the first, let's say, divide of the students, because if what's the advantage of studying in Czech language? That's something I should mention at the first place, is so since you go through us and you get at some point of Czech level language, let's say ideally for university is usually like B2 level of Czech language, they can actually apply for university in the Czech language courses, and they can study free of charge for the tuitions. So that's let's say the first option. Or of course they can apply for English courses, and they can study in English. Of course there is some tuition, but still, if we should compare it, for example, with some different countries like UK or US, the tuition fees are, let's say, significantly, maybe even lower. Same goes with the cost of living. So this is basically like two options. And if I should specify which are the options, so in the English, We have the Medicine Foundation program, we have Economics Foundation program, and we have Engineering and IT Foundation program. So these three options. And even though, let's say we say it's just three options, it's not like actually just the three, because if you attend like Engineering and IT, it means it covers much more than that. Because basically every technical major consists usually from mathematics or physics. And these two subjects are most important in this area. So based on this, the students will get like really thorough foundation in both of these subjects. So because most of the entrance exams consist of mathematics plus something else, so that's important. And then we have the Czech language courses, and above these three, which are the same even for the Czech language, it's economics, engineering and IT, and medicine. But we have three more. We have art and architecture, we have humanities, and we have natural sciences. So we have like 6 options in the Czech language foundation and three options in the English foundations.
Great. Thank you, both of you, once again. So, in similar lines, if you can also just let me know that do these foundation programs also help students or guide students in prepping up for the entrance exam and the interview? Suppose a student is opting for a medicine course. So, how does this foundation program going to help him or her?
Yeah, speaking about foundation in medicine, yeah, sure. Students they study physics, chemistry, biology, and we say it kind of anatomy, like human biology. It's the basis of anatomy. They have Latin language, so they basically they know the terminology not only in English or Czech, depends on the language, but also in Latin language. So they will be prepared for the this. Let's say it's the first part of the exam. It's kind of this test. So they are prepared for this test. Then the next part of the exam is this, let's say, there's small interviews about different topics, and they have special subjects which is called medical ethics. Like for students who study, who are preparing to study medicine in English, they have this medical ethics, where they discuss these different topics which can be discussed later during the exam. It's some ethical problems, some difficulties that can be just in communication with between the doctor and the patient, and how to deal with some in situations when, for example, you have different principles in your religion. And in the medical ethics, for example, here in Czech Republic, in Europe. So it's also a very this question can be asked during these interviews also, and the student should be able to answer all these like sometimes questions that can if the student wouldn't have the opportunity to discuss it before, they will definitely lost during the interview. So that's why we have this medical ethics, where they really comprehensively discuss all these topics that can be asked during the oh my god, I always forget this MMI interview, like this small interview session. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a shortcut for this interview exam.
Yeah.
It's not that important.
Correct. So I'm sure, again, as you mentioned, that along with the theoretical, so much of conversations and discussions make students, very confident when they're actually sitting for the interview. So that's a great addition that you have shared. Thank you. Moving forward to similar lines, when we talk about the foundation programs, there are different offerings, basically like fast track and complex programs which are offered, right? So besides the duration of these courses in the foundation section, like which one do you recommend for students, and how should they decide? Like when they come on the website, they read so much of information. So how do they know that, the fast track is better or a complex program is better?
Yeah, the first and the basic, I believe, what they need to take into account is their language skills. If they have quite good language skills, like in English, I mean, at the B2 level, let's say, the fast track is quite okay for them. So they will have mostly it's shorter. It starts in November, and so basically they will have all these subjects, all this preparation for interview and everything, and at the level from starting from B2. So we already know that they're good in English, so they don't need a lot of our help to be more fluent in English. So they need to be focused only on this preparation, let's say the foundation. But if they have they're like less skilled in English, I would say we always say it's like A2, B1, something like that. So in this case, the complex track is better because they will have more time. They will have more time not only for preparation, but to zlepšit.
Basically, they can get up to the speed with the language skills of the, let's say, these fast trackers, because they have 2 more months to really get on the speed and spend more time with the language.
Great, thank you. Again, it's a very insightful information for the students that will help them decide and take the right track. So moving forward to our another set of questions, basically now we are going to cover more student related queries. So when we talk about Charles University, how can we not talk about research and innovation? So my next question is very much aligned to that. So how does this foundation program introduces students to the research opportunities at Charles University?
Yeah, so basically, this is also maybe, I thank you for this question, because we almost forgot to mention it at the beginning, that the students, they always have the teachers or some people they can consolidate their options. And even though that we are always speaking about the Charles University, but actually our foundation programs are suitable for students. They maybe don't want to continue to Charles University, but they can continue to different universities in the Czech Republic, because we are always discussing, or not us, sometimes us, but usually teachers are consulting the students, and they ask them what is their dreams or desires, or what they want to study actually, and we always try to give them some options. What are options for them? So what we usually do, we offer students multiple options to consider. So again, if I should make example at maybe IT, it's a good example for it. We offer at the Charles University, we offer students, there is a bachelor program at the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics called Computer Science. But we know it's focused more for people who would like to become a scientist using the tool of mathematics or IT or computer sciences. So it's, for example, not suited for people they want to become programmers or doing some applications, doing some, I don't know, some programming. So this is like small details that the students maybe are not able to really see if they want to apply straight. So that's one more reason why to come to us, because we can really tell them, look, so you want to become, let's say, IT specialist, but what kind of IT specialist? If you really want to become a scientist using the mathematics, this is the best way for you. It's Charles University, and we will help you to apply there. We will help you with the entrance exam. But of course, there are some people, and we always said it has to be the good match, because not every student is suitable for the university, and not every university is suitable for the student. So we always try to find this match. So for example, we know that the CTU, Czech Technical University, it's the best in the business in terms of like programming and these IT or AI technology. So we said, okay, if you are interested in this stuff, we can prepare you for the CTU, because we know that they are doing the best job there, and we can also prepare you for the entrance exam, because we know how the entrance exam are. So we are not just let's say limited to the Charles University options. There are huge options, but as I mentioned, at this particular case, it's not always the good option, or it's not always what the student wants. So we really try to communicate with them, with each one of them, and really see what's the best options and what's the most likely, where they will most likely succeed, because they can apply multiple applications. So there's always let's say at least 2 or maybe 3 applications so they can apply, and sometimes they ended up with multiple offers from different universities, and then it's just up to them which of these offers they will accept it and start.
Yeah, speaking about medical programs, we introduce, we organize excursions to each of our, we have 5 medical faculties in Charles University, which is surprising why one university has 5 medical faculties, but it's just due to the history of Charles University. We have almost 700 years of history of the university. So within this history, we got 5 faculties. Okay, we are happy with that, and we're trying to. We have excursions to all of them. So we take all our students to meet the. Sometimes it's even dean of the faculty. So the dean will introduce the faculty to meet with teachers, to see to meet with students. Which can who can already explain and tell them about their experience here on that faculty particular. They can see all the facilities of the faculty, and later on they will decide where they are going to study. So yeah, at least 5 medical faculties of Charles University they will visit for sure, and then we always inform our students that they can also go to the we call it Day of the Open Doors, which each faculty has, they organize it 2-3 times per year. So we also, sometimes we take our students to that Day of the Open Doors. So we just organize the bus and take them there, or we just inform them that they can go to that and that faculty to see, because it's not so far away, so they can do it by themselves, just like.
Great, that's very interesting to hear. So since you were talking about the medicine course, so of course, when we talk about the medicine program, how can, we miss out on the clinical trainings and facilities. So when the students are traveling, as you just mentioned, to the 5 faculties, is there any provision in the foundation program itself where, they are given this exposure or the unique training experience that, that will help them in the further course of action for the medicine program?
It's kind of, it's not like the clinic training, because it's a bit too early for them. But of course, they will have kind of introduction, like small introduction, small lection, and maybe they will see some let's say not for public facilities, that for student facilities, because it's also the question of ethics. If we can just show, for example, parts of dead bodies, let's say not for the students who are going to be doctors, but for the public. We don't have this right to show just publicly, but these are going to be students. They have also opportunity to see something, to that scale that we can allow it on the basics, also on the medical ethics.
Yeah, I would continue based on what Anek just said, and I would say also, as Anek was mentioning, the open days. This is our basically the different open days just for our students, as you mentioned, what could be some examples. And that's also why we have so many faculties, because each faculty has a little different approach and a little different specialization. So also they can see, even during these visits, very different examples at each faculty. So that's also something that's very, very nice for the potential students. They can actually see what they will be studying. They meet with already the students studying at the faculties, so they can discuss with them. And if, as Anek said, sometimes there are some really interesting, let's say, clinical, I don't know, not experience, but stuff. So they can really attend it and see something, a little bit more than it's normally for public.
Yeah, I think that summarizes the conversation quite well. So thank you so much. We will move to our next segment, which is basically about student life and support. But before we do that, I'm sure the parents and the students would like to know what percentage of students in the foundation programs are international. A rough overview, basically, if you can give.
Basically, all the foundation programs are for international students. So let's
Okay.
say 100% of them are international students from different parts of the world.
Yeah, we have
Great.
many nationalities. It's really rich mix of the students, and there is students from all over the world. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. And how does the, these courses and programs ensures that, the international students are adapting both academically as well as to the cultural life in Czech Republic? So is there any provisions and programs from the university's end or the faculty?
Yeah, we have at the beginning of the course when they just come, we have we call it adaptation and orientation course. It's 2 weeks of different meetings, lectures, webinars, presentations about the life in the Czech Republic, and we cover topics from the academic life, like the educational system in the Czech Republic, for example. Yeah, how to orientate in the different types of universities and papers and whatever. To the topics just like basic norms and like traditions, how to behave yourself, how to be polite. In what does it mean to be polite in the Czech Republic? Because we have different rules here, the different from other countries. Like for example, people coming from Japan, they have their own understanding of what's to be polite and how to behave themselves, and also speaking back about this MMI, about these interviews, we also sometimes we struggle with students because they need to be proactive during the interview, and students from some countries, they cannot be proactive. They should be polite. That's how they behave themselves in their countries. So we also help them to cross this psychological barrier, and so yeah. So we have this adaptation orientation course from the Institute for Language and Preparatory Studies, and also the university itself. Like we organize, and we're also part of that. We organize like huge events for the whole university, 17 faculties and many institutes. So we organize like different events to help students from different faculties and different institutes inside the university to find more friends, more international friends, and to live a happier student's life here.
And that's great. Like before they are entering into a new country, you have so many things. So now tell me, once the students are in the course, so how does the faculty ensures the well-being? Are there clubs or extracurricular activities during the course of their study period, so that they have a balanced life, and it's not just only about studies. So what are the provisions, and how does the faculty ensure that the students' well-being is taken care of?
Yeah, I would just continue what Anek was saying before, that we offer them like so many of cultural activities, sport activities, because since they are at the course, they are basically part of the Charles University family. So they even have access at some facilities. They are for already like students, so they can actually take advantage of it. So they can attend for some sport facilities, or they can attend different various for museums, for the theaters, cinemas. Plus, above that, we also take them usually at some interesting cities around the Prague, because even though our two schools are one in Prague, one in Poděbrady, and which is quite close. It's like 1 hour by direct train, so it's quite close. But still, we would like to show the students more than just the Prague itself, but also to really let's say show them how it looks elsewhere. And even during these activities, And maybe this is something what's valuable for the students, that if they make these amazing friendships at the foundation program, sometimes they continue this friendship with their friends at the studies, because sometimes they apply for the same majors, they apply for same faculties, for same university, so they keep seeing these people and they already have much more confidence. Then again, as I mentioned at the beginning, if they show up at the first day of the university straight away and they know no one, but our students, they already have so much like really strong friendship, because they've been through the whole process for 7 or 9 months. So they can actually, since day one at the university, they already have this advantage of knowing people, have strong relationship, friends, and I would say this is quite important for a physical, let's say, calmness, because they have so many stuff already behind them, and they are confident. They will just attend the classes and going through the exams with their friends around, with the teachers they know around. So it's quite good for them.
Yeah, and we have a very caring teachers who are trying to mother the students, really, because like students, they are far away from home and they can have like kind of homesick sometimes. So something can be difficult and different and difficult, it's so they can always have a conversation with the teacher, because they're trying to do their best to help them, to consult them at each point of their journey here in the within the course, and even later on they keep contact with the teachers. And if we want to find any of our alumni, we just talk to teacher and they provide us with contacts, because they know what they are doing, where they work, and so on. So we have really caring teachers and curators there, so they can help them in any situation.
Thank you once again to both of you. I would like to re-emphasize that this is a very good point, that apart from so many facilities, so many things which you just highlighted, a human touch and feeling is so important. And having that bond with the teacher and professor, as you mentioned, is not just a one time. So, constant guiding and monitoring. So please, students, do emphasize on this point, that you're going to the right place. And parents can be rest assured that I'm sending my child to the right place, right? So they don't have to worry. Great. So now we will come to the segment of admissions and the application process. Basically, here what I would like both of you to share is like the admission process for international students. Basically, the timeline. What qualification or the quality does the program look for in prospective students? Like when they should be considering this option, and anything they need to keep in mind. So that's all. If you can just share on these grounds.
I will leave it to Anek. I would just make a little introduction, because on our webpage we have a step-by-step application process, and the author of it is Anek himself. So he's the really right person for this topic. So I would just point it out that Anek actually is the owner of this step-by-step instruction and everything connected with it.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking about application process, we always open applications 1 year before the course starts. So like 12 months before the student will come to the study, they already have opportunity to apply. And we always recommend to apply as soon as possible. So because it's... even a student wants to go outside the country, to the different country, like to become an international student. It's not something that you can decide like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be an international student, and okay, give me a visa, take my money, and I'm coming. It's not. It's always a kind of hard decision for the family, even if they don't have financial problems to do it. Still, it's kind of a lot of psychological stuff, and so it is always good to start a bit earlier. Like if now that some parents, they listen to this podcast, and they still have children who are going to be university student in 2-3 years. So it is really good time to start thinking about this. And it is very good to start the application process as soon as possible, as early as possible. I mean, 1 year before the course starts. It's the best way. In this case, the student will have a lot of time to prepare all the papers for visa, to get all the papers from us, because we send all the papers from Czech side. So no worries, we will have everything prepared from our side, from the Czech side. So students just need to prepare some papers from their side, which we also can consult the student, or you can consult the student to help them to do it and to prepare all the papers for visa. So basically the process starts from application, then we look for the application if everything is okay.
Application is easily on the website. It's
Yeah.
just quite, yeah.
It's just on the website. The
Or
student
online.
click the button apply,
Yeah.
apply button, and they apply for the course, and they attach some documents that are mentioned in that application, and then in a week or 2 weeks they got the email with the further instructions about the payment and everything. As soon as we get payment, we are ready to issue all the documents for visa and start all the process. So the visa takes, I believe I can get to the visa also. Visa takes, yeah, this study visa, study visa takes 60 days to get. It's from the, let's say, from the date when they apply for visa to the date when they get the decision. But to get the date to apply for the visa, there's also a process. They need to apply for this term, let's say, in the consulate, and it can also take sometimes a few months to get that date. So that's why I always say as soon as possible, start as soon as possible. I don't know if I answered all the questions. Maybe you have something to like some additional questions to that process.
No, I think I'd also mentioned about the qualification, like anything specific, the faculty looks for in prospective students, or is it course wise? How does it happen?
Yeah, qualification of the student. Yeah, the course we always say foundation program, but it's not that foundation that, for example, students are used to in Great Britain or United States, when the student is still not really qualified for the university, and they go to that foundation and they get additional qualification during that program, and then they apply for the university. Our foundation programs in the Czech Republic, in Charles University, is a bit different. We are looking for the students who are already qualified, like formally qualified for the university. So they have their papers, certificates, like school diplomas, everything is already okay for the university. So speaking about we know this British system, like for example O levels, A levels. So it's something like at least 5 O levels plus 2 or 3 A levels, something like that. That's the qualification that we are looking for, and something similar to that. But I believe you can help the students if they come into you, and they can ask you more about these questions, and we are always ready to help with that. We need to be very careful in this case. I cannot generalize everything. So in each case, we have this individual way of thinking about what student already has and what they can provide more or not. So so this is the basic qualification we are looking for, and then we will help the student with this bridging, this foundation program, to get more skills, not the qualification, but skills for the university to be able to pass the entrance exams and to continue their study in the university. And also, of course, we have help with the nostrification. I'm not sure if this word is used anywhere else, but in the Czech Republic, it's the recognition of the previous education, which is also a kind of a process which the student need to go through, and without help, it's quite difficult to do it in the Czech Republic. So we'll also take this on us.
Great. So, as you rightly said, Anik, that early preparation or early planning is very important, but because it's not just applying for the program, it's about understanding then the visa and all these processes which you just mentioned. So, I'm sure the students are listening. So, please, if you are keenly interested, prepare well in advance. And I'm sure the website has all the details. But as Anik mentioned, the requirements and the qualification would differ from curriculum to curriculum, and maybe your case is very different. You have changed multiple schools or curriculum, so you can write to either us or to the university, and I'm sure they are going to be very helpful in responding to you, right?
Yeah.
So coming to another segment, which is again very closely related. Suppose the students want to know that what are, like, apart from the tuition fees for the course which is specified on the website, are there any additional costs students should expect or keep in mind apart from the tuition fees and of course cost of living?
Maybe I would just mention that the average cost of living in the Czech Republic is around 7,000 euros. So maybe that's something to keep in mind when, like, let's say the family is somehow calculating the budget for it
per year.
Yeah, for 1 year, it's like, so our courses is fast track is 7 months, and the complex is for 9 months. But we consider that if the students will finish with our program and they get accepted for university, they will stay here during the summer, or they will just go home and then come back just before. But we count it for the whole year. And of course, some people can live with 5, some people are not enough with 10. So, but it's like the average what the family should expect about the living.
Yeah, and maybe all these administrative processes that, for example, this nostrification, as I already mentioned, this recognition of the previous education, the student will bring the papers which are not in the Czech language. So the translation will cost some money. We'll help to find the translator, no worries, but the student will pay to the translator to translate the documents. And then, some fees that the state will take for this process, which are not really high. It's like 50 euros, something like that. But still, we need to mention it always for students, so they will be prepared. And some costs, for example, when they apply for the universities, each application also costs something like 50 euro. So the student will need to take into account these small fees everywhere for these administrative processes and so on. But I cannot recollect any major, let's say, apart from living costs and accommodation, of course, some stuff like that. I cannot imagine any other big costs what they need to pay anywhere.
Yeah, but for sure there are not payments like for books,
like not major bulk payment, administrative or anything, small fees as you just mentioned for application process or for the nostrification fee. Yeah, but not just like a tuition fee where there is a huge amount basically as compared to these. Yeah. So are there any provisions where the university or the faculty offers flexibility in paying the tuition fee, or is it like a one-time deposit that they need to make?
No, it depends on the university. When they pay for the tuition fee already in the university after the foundation program, it depends. Some universities, they provide this program of semester by semester or few months by few months paying. Some universities, they require the 1 year payment. So for 1 year, it depends on university.
And what about the foundation, like the course that you guys are offering? So is there a provision for flexibility in the payment?
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to add it that for a foundation, we can offer students the 50% installment, basically pay the tuition into installments. But the first one should be around the application, because based on that, when we receive the payment, we can provide you these documents. So this payment should be quite, let's say, nearly together with application. But the second installment, I believe it could be just before the summer or around that. But
it's the end of July.
End of the July should be. So if the student is starting in September or in November, it's still like a lot of time. All these visa process usually can be done before if the student apply early.
Yeah, and the question that has not been asked, but I know that students ask that all the time. In case of any rejection, like visa rejection, or the student just changed their mind, which can be possible, of course, or something changed in their family situation and they decide not to come, do we have the refund? Yeah, we have the refund, and we have the really clear payment and refunding policies, which is written on our website. And basically, we will refund you almost everything, but 5% from the cost of from the tuition fee. So only 5% we will keep as administrative application fee, let's say, costs, and the rest we will just send you back. We don't need your money if you don't want to come to the course.
Great. So I'm of course, we don't need any introduction, because the way you are answering and the way you anticipated, yes, this is one question that we had missed, but it's a very common question. And any scholarship or financial aid that is given for the foundation course to international students, any availability of these things?
Well, at the foundation, there is no. As far as we know, there is no possible of this scholarship or anything, because if you already mentioned that if the student want to really help the family budget, they can apply for our Czech language foundation course. So basically, they pay just for the foundation, and then they can apply for Czech language majors, which are basically free of charge. Or but if they decide to going for English language path, so they can actually, sometimes there are some possibilities since they're at the faculty, but it's not like something really, let's say, like state foundation or something. It's more like, if, for example, if they have really good grades, they can got it's not like scholarship, but it's discount on that on the tuition. So they can, based on their results, they can get some discounts, some scholarship, let's say. Or if they have some interesting projects going with this together with studies, it's possible, but it's not like general scholarship options.
Yeah, but the most important, I believe, is that students here in Czech Republic, they can work. Can have part-time job. Not during the foundation program. During the foundation program, it's forbidden. But then, when they apply already to the university, they become the students of the university. They can have part-time job. So which is very helpful, and they can help their parents with budget and everything.
Yeah, I think that is something students would be looking forward to. Another question, a commonly asked question, I would say. Yeah, great. So Anik, you have already covered bits and parts on the visa processing, but I just have one question which I'll just try to combine, which is what are the challenges, as per your experience, since you also closely work with the visa team? Do international students face when they are, doing the visa application process? And suppose there is a delay and students write to you guys. So is there any provision for extension? How cooperative is the faculty? Or it's this is that time and you need to be here. So how does it all work?
Yeah, the visa process is something that we cannot really involve. It's the process that is beyond our, let's say, almighty university jurisdiction. Yeah, so that's why we are trying to prepare the student for this procedure, and I think the most demanding will be the interview, which can be, I know in some countries, this interview is can be done, can be not. It depends on the consulate, maybe on their rules, or I don't know. But at some countries, this interview is the it's the everlasting story. Like every student will go through this interview, sometimes in even 1 hour interview, when they will be asked about their studies in the foundation program, what they're going to study, where they're going to study, the address of the school, the address of the accommodation, all in details, and of course about their further study, because this foundation program conceptually, like in the basic principle, is the let's say the basics of the further studies at the university. So they will be asked about their future studies in the university, and we are trying to prepare students for this. For these interviews, we have a list of questions even on our website, where the student where they can get basically almost all the questions that can be asked during the interview, and also we have then like calls, some sessions with them, where we again asking all these questions. And we see if the student is not prepared or not, and we can also help and answer their questions about how to behave, for example, in the consulate, which papers to take, and I don't know, how to be polite again, and so on, stuff like that.
So you mentioned all these details are on the website, like students can explore and then connect. So that was my next question, like, are there specific people or team that, like once the student receives the offer, how they connect with us? Like, how should I start with my visa? Is it a right time? Should I be prepared in advance? So anyone specifically, they can reach out to any team, or how does it operate?
Me.
Okay.
I am that
That's
person.
great.
We have a team of people, and well, let's divide into two parts. One is the part of the administrative assistant. So each student has their own administrative assistant, whom they contact via email. So, and they got all the papers, they arrange all the payments with that person. So all this official stuff, like papers and payments. And then they got the contact of my contact. It's basically WhatsApp I use because it's cheaper than calling. So WhatsApp is the best option. So they can contact me, and I have my colleague whom they can contact via email also. But they prefer WhatsApp because it's easier, it's faster, and everything. So basically, each student got two person taking care of. One person takes care of the documents and financial stuff, and the second person, me, I consult and taking care, like in let's say in psychological way also, to be like, okay, no worries, you will do it. It's not something that can kill you. It's just an interview in the consulate. So I will be that person who will consult the student about further steps also, and I can be the one who can make who can speed up the process. For example, the administrative assistant has a lot of work, and they are not capable to be as fast as I am, but I can speed up the process if something is happening like really urgent.
I would once again like to re-emphasize the students, please take screenshot of Mr. Anik. And if Anik is there, you don't have to worry, because visa is a very important part. So I'm sure after seeing this podcast, they will all be, very happy to know that, you're so friendly and helpful. And of course, you're there with us today. So that's great, along with Mr. Daniel. Yeah. So yes, then coming to another interesting question, which is of course, accommodation. So what kind of accommodation options are available for students, going for Institute of Language and Preparatory Studies, like both on campus and off campus? And does the program assist students in finding affordable housing options?
Yeah, we have our own dormitories. Like the university, the Charles University is one of the richest universities, let's say. We have a lot of dormitories, and the part of these dormitories are under our straight managing. So we, as a part of university, we have our dormitories in each study centers. So in Prague we have two options, and in Poděbrady we have one option. So like two options, but they're just together. We recommend that to choose that option, because in the application form the student can choose if they want to get the accommodation in our dormitories or not. And I personally recommend to choose that option, because in this case the student, they pay kind of deposit, like 300 euro, and they get a contract from us, the accommodation contract for 12 months, which is one of the essential parts for visa documents. So it is very easy to get these essential documents for this not really big, let's say, money. And this money, it's not that we take them and we leave it for us. No, it's the money for the first month, let's say. So when the student will come, they will start to leave and
they will use this deposit.
Use this deposit for the few like first days. So and then later here in the Czech Republic they can decide if they would like to continue to live in our dormitories, which are very good, and I believe it's one of the best option, or they want to find something else. If they want to find something else, it is very easy to find it in Prague and in Poděbrady also, because it's kind of touristic city, so they can find the place. But the best option is always to stay in the dormitory, and they will see, because it's cheaper than to look for some private apartment, let's say, and they can have their really like student life there, because they will live with different students from different countries. They have all this, in the morning they have studies, in the evening they have parties. That's the student life also, and it's also a part of how it should be for young people studying abroad.
And especially speaking about the Prague, it's even in the same building, so they will have the lectures and the accommodation in the same building. They will just use the lift. I believe the accommodation is in 8th and 9th floor, and the lectures are in the ground floor. So it's even they can save a time, and they can have a longer afternoon if they want to go to the downtown.
And in Poděbrady, it's just 5 minutes walk from the castle. I say castle because the school is in the castle, actually. It's in the middle of Poděbrady. There is a middle-aged castle, like the real one, like in Harry Potter. So that's the school. So students, every day, they leave the dormitory, like 5 minutes walk, and they are already in the castle, like in the middle age, like Harry Potter, studying with their friends. So I believe it's the best option to live and study like that for first year in Czech Republic, like in fairy tale, and then they will continue to the university.
Yes, I really like the description, because I could visualize that castle and Harry Potter. So of course, and I can also visualize you guys having great time at the faculty, so many students around and these things, the way you're explaining. So again, students, some things that you should not miss in this podcast. That's great. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that answers most of the question. Similar to those lines, as I just mentioned, that students also quite often ask about the health insurance. So is it like beneficial for international students to take the university insurance instead of using a local Czech insurance company, or how should they go about it? Like, insurance is required, right? So what is the best approach for that?
Yeah, the insurance is also one of the essential part of the visa documents. So you cannot get the visa without insurance. And there are few companies in the Czech Republic who can provide this insurance. And we as university, we choose the partner with whom we have like special offer we can provide special offer for our students. That's what we we know, that's what we do, that's what we have on our web page, and we know that this partner is that certified insurance company that can provide the insurance policies to the foreign students. So I believe it's also one of the best options to do it via university, then to look for some company and to check if they are certified or not certified, if they really are going to send you the insurance or not really. It depends. It can happen sometimes. Like the student are looking for insurance and they find not the best option. So
Yeah. So, like going through a experience gateway is a much better option, as you suggested. So, of course, students can take note of this as well. Now, we are just on the closing part of the podcast. A very important question is like after they get into the foundation program at the university, what is the pathway? Like, is it direct admission to the faculties of Charles University? And what are the conditions for successful admission? So this is a very commonly asked question. Do I get direct admission, or what is the process like?
Well, okay, I can start this. So basically, at the Charles University, and it goes for most of the universities, there are usually always some entrance exams. So even though the students will come to our program, they will still have to go through this admission exams, admission interviews based on each faculty, each university. But usually it sounds scary for a student that there is some exams, we have to do it again. But actually, they go through us and they will stay with us. They attended the classes. So it's basically like not an exam for them. They are working on it. They know what to expect. They know what they should be ready for. So basically, it's just really to take what they already have been studying in 7 or 9 months with us, and they will just apply it at this entrance exam. So usually our percentage, I believe it's more than 90% of acceptance rate by universities. And even from these 10% sometimes is that some students just decided they don't want to study at university and they come home. So it's also this possibility. It's not just they were rejected, but there are more factors they can step in this percentage. So basically what we can say that if student is really attending the lectures, they are working, they are doing the homeworks, they are most likely get accepted to universities, even though they have to go through this application process. But again, it's not just about these entrance exams, but it's more about what's ahead during the first year of the bachelor degrees, or sometimes even some students go for masters. For example, in medicine, we have just the master degree in 5 or 6 years. So yes, there is exam, but we are pretty sure that if the student is working with us, we can get through this exam.
Yeah, and we always all the time we are in we constantly keeping the contact with our medical faculties, so we know how to prepare the student. We know what are requirements, what will be the requirements of our faculties. So no worries. If you study with us at our foundation programs, we know how to teach you in the way that you will pass the entrance exams and you will keep your place in the university also, because sometimes it's like it's good to pass the entrance exams, but the best is to stay in the university, to continue and to study. We have some each year we have few students who applied straight to the faculty. Then they studied 1 year and they understood that it's impossible to continue, that they don't have enough knowledge, they have difficulties in adaptation and everything, and they're coming to our foundation program, and our faculties, they actually recommend, like they say, either you're going back home or you can have the second chance. So if it's okay for you, you can go to that foundation program. So students, they're coming to foundation program, they prepare themselves, and then they successfully again they apply for the faculty, they again have the same entrance exams, and then they successfully continue their studies already without any difficulties, because we prepared them for any case that they can face during this the study.
Yeah, this is actually a very, very good point that Anet mentioned, because sometimes, usually some parents told us that, yeah, but the foundation, this is one more year that my son or my daughter will spend at the studies. But as we know from our experience, this is actually what Anek described. This is even the worst scenario. Did the student decided, I don't need it, I can go straight, and then they basically lost 1 year because they failed basically. So then they realize, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or I have to do it again. And they're already this failure can make like some really hard time for them. So actually, we believe that coming to us for foundation is not based of 1 year, but actually is gaining so much knowledge and make your, let's say, 5-6 years at the university much easier, and not like easier in terms of studies, but more comfortable, because you know what to expect and you really focus on the studies. So this is also because I know these questions when we are speaking with parents or speaking with students, they are always afraid that it's one more year to their studies. But we said, well, it is, but it would be rewarding at the end, because you will be really prepared, and you most likely wouldn't feel this failure after 1 or 2 years. So that's crucial thing as well.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, like the acceptance rate, which you just highlighted, as well as the name itself. Foundation means creating a strong base for your future things. So, of course, this is something which students and parents would also relate to. That if your base is strong, then you don't have to worry about 5 or 6 years, whatever course your upcoming, interest would align. So, thank you so much. That brings me to the last question, which again I would like to summarize because most of it we have already covered. Anything you both, since you closely, interact with parents and students, so apart from what is mentioned on the website, that you would highlight and recommend to students as to why Institute for Language and Preparatory Study Foundation programs is an excellent choice for them. So if you can just share your insights on a personal level, like how you feel and what you could suggest to them. So that will be great.
Okay, so if I may, I will start first. So for me, as far as I see among the students or the families, it's really, if the student want to come to us, they really should, because it's something that will be really rewarding, as I already said before. But I really believe it's like that because it would make your life so much easier. You will get into the international, you will find really big group of international students. You will get in touch with people you have to be able to deal with during your studies. So this is all the things that are really crucial for your studies. And it's not just about the international people. You will also know the environment here. You will get a chance to get and meet the locals, and just also it gives you a little bit more time of really consider what you actually want to study, because sometimes we had a student, they are not completely sure what kind of major is important for them. Sorry. So it's like sometimes people come to us and they said, we want to become general medicine, like the doctors or surgeons. But during our foundation, they say, oh, maybe I would maybe try to apply for dentistry, or currently also physiotherapy. All these or different healthcare majors are really popular because they require different things than the general medicine. And also general medicine is not for everyone, because for some reason, for example, they want to dedicate so much hard work into that. So these are, let's say, all the important things for the students to be happy and really make really wise decision what they want to study. And we here at UOP help them to make this decision, so they can really profit for the rest of their careers, so they can really be sure what they want to study and what's the best options for them.
Yeah, just summarizing everything we were saying before, to be an international student is not it's not easy. It's a very difficult decision, and it's a quite challenging path. Yeah, demanding way. So you need to be prepared for that path. for that challenges that you are going to face, and you really need to build a strong foundation for that way, for the start, let's say. And on that in that process, who else can help you, who will be the best partner at the beginning? Then Charles University, the best and the oldest, one of the best and one of the oldest universities in the Czech Republic and the whole Europe. We have a lot of experience in preparing students, so we will be the best partner in this, in building the strong foundation for your further career here in Czech Republic, in Europe, or wherever in the world you are going to go after that.